Hi guys, little lady here. Right, so it's my turn to cook tonight. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making some bagels. And what we're going to have with the bagels is we're going to make them into like little pizzas, pizza pocket type things. But I'll bring you down and I'll show you all the ingredients that we've got for that. Right, so the first thing we've got is some bread flour. Now I do have the strong white bread flour. I don't know if there's I'll need 500 grams. I'm not sure if there's 500 grams left in there, so I've got a new one here as well. I have some water with a teaspoon of sugar in there, just to start to feed the yeast. Just have an ordinary fast action dried yeast there. I think that one is from Lidl's. So just going to use that. And some salt as well with that. Now what we'll need is, for the bagels themselves, is you need to have some bicarbonate of soda, because we are going to boil these first for a couple of minutes. And on the top I'll have some black onion seeds, if you can see that, and I have some sesame seeds as well. Now for the pizza side of it, I do have some tomato passata, I have a shallot, a garlic clove, a little bit of tomato puree. I've got some hot pepperoni because Ian loves that, and I've also got some meat selection as well. We've got a barbacoa cheese, chorizo, and salchichon. I'm not quite sure how that is pronounced, and also got some grated mozzarella to go in there as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get on and get the bagels sorted. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is bloom the yeast. Like I say, I've got a teaspoon of sugar in there, and that's 320 grams of just lukewarm water. Right, put your yeast in. I like to mix it in here and see it's starting to bloom. Then you know that your yeast's fine, it's not dead. Just make sure it's all in there, mixed in. Roll off the sides, splash it all over the place, Manda. There you go. Right, so just put that to one side and I'll get the bread flour. Right, so I'm going to be using this bowl to do the bread in, so I might as well use it as well to measure it. Like I say, I want 500 grams of bread flour. I'm just going to put that in there. Oh, there's actually more in there than I thought. 444. Just open this next one. Just a little bit over the sink there, so because normally when you go like that, it just goes everywhere. Right, so make that up to the 500, and that's far too much in there. $500. There we go. Put that to one side. Now I do like to put the salt in with this, and for this part I am going to use ordinary table salt, just because I think it mixes in better. About a teaspoon, which I'd say is about that. Right, so I'm just going to wait another five or so minutes. You can see this starting to, I don't know whether you can actually see that on the camera, it's starting to become alive a little bit, getting your bubbles. Fascinates me, these things. So, right, I'll give that a few more minutes and then we'll get on with doing this bit. Right, so that's had a few minutes to bloom now. I am going to put in about 2 dessert spoonsful of extra virgin olive oil in here, because I do like the taste. You don't have to if you don't have it, but I do like the taste of it. 1, 2. And then we'll add in my bloomed yeast. You know it's alive and active, and that's exactly what you want. I'm you can't do all of this by hand. It's just I cut it because my hands don't allow us to do it anymore. Excuse me. So just put this on slow to incorporate it. And then we're going to let that mix for about 10 minutes. And then we'll come back to you. Right, so while that's still mixing, sorry about the noise, I'm just going to cut up this shallot for the sauce. Just do like shallots. You see, they cook down a lot quicker. It depends on how many onions you need for a recipe. If you need 2 big onions, you'd be forever peeling little shallots like this to get the same amount of onion. So I'm just going to make sure I got all the papery skin bits off. Right, get rid of that. And then I'm just going to put this down there. It's easy as that. And just as big or as little as you like. I just want little bits in here. Sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat today. It's funny because I was in the office yesterday and I did nothing but cough while I was in there. I think it's the aircon. It does it to us every time I have to go in. I know about keeping the root and everything on, but you know what? This is what I've been doing for years. I'm not a professional cook. I am literally just a home cook. I'm just going to peel this a little bit. Just crack it just so it comes away a lot easier, and there you go, comes straight off. So right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get that bit off there. I'm going to start doing the sauce. It's still got 7 minutes on the bagels mix, so I'm going to start doing the sauce. Right, so I've got a little heat on there now, just a bit of extra virgin olive oil in there. And then I'm going to pop the shallots in and just let them soften down in that olive oil just for a few minutes. Shallots take a lot less time than what ordinary onions do. So we're just going to let that go down like that, about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll come back to you. Right, so that's just had a few minutes, and as you can see, nice and soft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the garlic in. I don't even know if I've used this new garlic crusher yet. I can't even remember if I have or not, because I couldn't use the old one. Oh yes, that's much easier, definitely. Oh, use the back of a knife just to get all the bits off. Try not to use the sharp part of the knife, you'll only blunt your knives. So give that just a couple of seconds in there. I love the smell of onions and garlic, I don't know about yous. Right, I'm going to pop a bit of tomato puree in there. If you can, if the recipe calls for it, if you can actually, there's not much in here. If you can actually just cook your tomato puree out a little bit. See, I've got another one in the cupboard. No, I can't see you one, so that'll have to go on the shopping list. But anyway, this little bit will do. We'll just cook that out for a few minutes. See if I can get a little bit more out. There we go. I'm not that strong with my hands any longer, guys, so you have to forgive. Just a few minutes, just let it cook out in that oil. Turn it up just a little bit. Now I think tomato sauces have got to be cooked for a good half an hour, just to build up the flavours. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of salt in there. Don't forget, salt and pepper are like spices. If you put them in the hot oil, it will waken up the spices just that little bit more. And always put some more in at the end. Right, now for the passata. That's how I open it up, because I'm not putting any extra water in here. So I just want to do this so that I can get my spoon in and get as much out of there as I possibly can. Oh, there's the buzzer for the bagels. Right, turn that off. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this on the back burner and just let that go for about 30 minutes. Right, so I'm just going to get these out of the way. Oh, come on, that's it. Get rid of that. Right, just going to bring these over and I'm going to give this a little hand knead. Another little tip as well, it is a clean surface. Just put a little bit of oil on that. I hate the spray bottle. Like that. Get your bread mix out. Onto there. And if you are going to knead it without a machine for 10 minutes, this is what you do. You just push it out and pull it back. Just push it out, push it out, push it out. And you would have to do that for about 10 minutes if you didn't have a machine. It is easy. I've done it before. I did it for years and years and years before I had a machine. Like I say, my hands are not getting a bit old for doing this now. So that's about enough. So if you just go cup it like that, cup it, just like that. Now into a nice ball. Put a bit more oil in there. Spread that around. Put your ball in there, face side down, get some of that oil on. Turn it over, cover it, and let it prove for about an hour, hour and a half, as long as you want. Right guys, so that is had about an hour, maybe an hour and 5. And you can see how much that's risen there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of flour. Don't want too much. Oh, it's gone all over my tea towel, look. Typical. A little bit of flour on there. Put it on your hands like that. And then get it out the bowl. Right, again, a little bit on the top. And we're going to knock it back. Get all that air for the last hour that the yeast's been doing. I'm going to knock it right back. When you feel it like this now, you can feel that the yeast's been working. One more time. Just on the bottom there. You can see it's got a little bit of a stretch on it. If you pull it up like that, you can see the stretch. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it into a rough bit like that. You can see the little air pockets. Even though I've knocked it back, it's still got a few little air pockets in there. This yeast is very much alive and working really nicely. Now, it depends on what size bagels you want. Just got my bread knife. Try and get it sort of around about the same size, a little bit, and I'm just going to cut that in half. I'm going to get that there. Again, just pull it over, make it into a rough rectangle. I want to get 3 out of this. I want to get 6 bagels all together. It's about the same size. It's not going to work like that. So what we'll do is we'll just stretch it over. Put it over it. There we go. So we'll want about 3. I'm not going to measure it. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So I've got 3 there. A little bit more flour. When you cut it, that's the sticky part, so you can just dip that in there like that. Just pull it around like so, turn it round, and again what we did with the big one earlier, just go like that. Now, just going to turn it around. There we go. Flatten it off just a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll put our thumb all the way through it. There we go. A little bit of flour. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit misshapen. Just go like that. Need your hole in the middle for a bagel. Try this again. A little bit of flour. This one's got 2 cut sides. This is the middle one. We just bring everything up like that into a bowl. Bit too much flour there. Just try and get it into a bowl. Thumb all the way through it like that, like so. There's your second one. Cut side. Again, all the way around like that. Forgot to do that bit. Thumb in the middle. Open it up. So, that's the first 3 bagels. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to get my pan on, get some boiling water in there, and then I'll come back to you. If you hear some buzzing in the background, that was the little oven going. So what I want to do is I want to fill this up now with some boiling water. And I have the bicarbonate of soda. If I can get into it, it's a new one. Didn't realise I'd run out. So as soon as that comes up to the boil, was boiling water, I'm just going to move that back just a little bit, give us a little bit more room there. Right, so now that's up to the boil, I want a tablespoon of bicarb of soda in here. Level teaspoon like that. That's what you want to see happen. Make sure that's all dissolved. And then what we do is we drop our bagels in there for 2 minutes. Move them along, put the third one in. 2 minutes. So I've put the oven on to warm up. have my tray here ready. Make sure that they're not all together. I could have done all 6 together, but my pan isn't big enough, as you can see. So don't want it to boil over. So I've got the alarm on for 2 minutes and then we'll come back. Right, so they've had the 2 minutes now. I'm just going to get them out straight onto the baking sheet. Like so. Could do with a bit of a bigger pan, but hey, needs must and all of that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them like that. I want a little bit of salt on each, just a little crack. I'm going to have some sesame seeds just stuck to the top there. I wouldn't mind that bagel seasoning, however I don't have any, and I don't have all of the ingredients to put it on. I don't have any poppy seeds, so I didn't want to. I want some onion seeds. Nicely put them on there. And then I was going to go into the oven for about between 15 and 18 minutes. And I'll crack on with the other ones. So I'll bring you back once these are ready to come out of the oven. Right, so these are done. I've turned Alexa off. I'm just going to put these here. A lot of the onion seeds have come off the third one, but hey, that's not the end of the world. So what I'll do is I'll let them ones rest and I'll do the other 3. Right, so that's all 6 done. I decided to just do sesame seeds on that because of all of the onion seeds came off that one. So I'm just going to let these cool down and then we'll make our bagel pizzas. Right, so this is cooled down. It's a bit misshapen, but I'm not bothered about that. So this is our bagels. Just going to cut this in half. Look at that. Look at that. Honestly, it's so fluffy. So what I'm going to do is I've spoke to Ian. He's home from work and he says, just do me whatever you know that I like. So I'm going to put a little bit of tomato sauce on. And if you don't use all of this, guys, you can actually just do it with a bit of pasta, a bit of cheese on the top. It's nice and cold now. That's why it's on here. If it was still warm, I definitely wouldn't put it on here. I've got some hot pepperoni, like I showed you earlier. I'm going to put 3 on there. Got some mozzarella cheese. I have got a little bit of the other cheese on there as well. What was it again? Oh, the Iberico cheese. I want to put a little bit of mozz on here. I've got the oven back on, by the way. Oh, stuck to my hand. And I'm going to put a piece of this Iberico cheese on here as well. And then I'm going to put it back in the little oven for about 3-4 minutes. If I can get into this cheese. Just for a little bit extra flavour for him. He sat outside because it is really, even though it's very dark tonight, it's very warm. So I think that storm that everybody keeps telling us about is about to come, to be perfectly honest. Right, so the Iberico cheese is going to go on there like that. I'm going to put the lid on. Got that there, and that's going to go back in the oven for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how quickly it all melts, and then we'll come back to you.
All right, guys, triple tea time. Now this looks yummy.
Homemade bagels.
Yeah, pizza bagels. I'm just gonna attempt to pull it apart so you can maybe get a bit of a cheese pull. If it's gonna work, we can try. Oh.
Yes. That's what you want.
OMG. Cheese pull.
Now, one of our favourite bagels is Christmas morning, isn't it?
Yeah, smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon and cream cheese.
Yeah.
We normally buy the bagels.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get in. I'm just going to hear a nice crunch on that because it's been back in the oven. The cheese, lovely. All the meats in there, pepperoni, salami, I think. Mozzarella in there. And that is just... Oh.
Iberico cheese as well, because I got, you know, that 3 cheese and... Sorry, the cheese and the meat thing that you like to munch on.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I got that today.
That is really nice. Really, really, really nice. Texturally as well. I say that. You can hear that.
Sorry, that was a bit too in his face there.
Yummy. Absolutely stonking. I like the pepperoni in there as well because you get a little bit of...
I got the hot pepperoni.
A little bit of heat. I
like
that. So, yeah, give that a go if you fancy it. Really, really tasty. You
don't have to make them into pizza, guys. Just make your bagels and have them with any filling that you possibly want. Like I say, Christmas morning for us is smoked salmon and cream cheese.
No, that's nice.
That is our normal go-to for bagels. So
that's really nice though. That is really nice.
But like I say, put anything in that you want.
So, yeah. So it's what, Thursday? We've got a long weekend coming up.
Oh, God.
3 days off. Boom. So once again, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and keep the recipe IDs coming. We love it.
Yeah, we've got a full list now, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got.
Actually, it's not full.
We've got
a few. But that is absolutely amazing for us, because sometimes we sit there on a Friday night when we're making our thing, go, oh, what we're going to make this week?
I've got to make sure now, because you know, like when somebody comments and you put, oh yeah, I'll put it on my list, and then you either forget or you forget which video it was on, and then so what I tend to do now is, as soon as I read a comment, get my little notepad out, put it in the to-do list, bang, and who's requested it, bang.
I've got a few recipes that I'm going to do. I've got stovies, which I've had for months.
Yeah.
But we got that just before the summer, so I didn't want to do that then.
More winter recipes out.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. But as soon as it starts to turn, then I will be doing that. So yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, Friday tomorrow, my turn. But I'm doing a chicken chow mein.
Yes.
Can't remember who requested it.
You'll probably look it up and see it tomorrow.
We'll see. But anyway, we're going to say good night.
Yes.
And have a great weekend. And we will catch you very soon.
See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.